hit my toe.
Ow!
I don't know. I bumped up against something. Have you ever stubbed your fucking toe?
Yeah, but you're
Good
sitting.
start. Good start.
Oh, I'm clipping
Don't
all
give a
over the
shit.
place.
Listen, I'm real, alright? This video game choo-choo is real. So I'm not gonna censor myself when something bad happens, okay?
Uh-huh.
The disrespect in this room is palpable. Anyway, hello, everyone. It's me, your host, editor-in-chief, and the person who is in charge of the website. John.
Oh, boy.
Oh boy.
Thanks for listening, everybody. This will be the last episode of the podcast because everyone's fired.
Oh, this sucks. Oh, my God.
Oh, I'm okay.
Give me all this shit for stubbing my fucking toe. I'm a human being. I have rights.
You were sitting.
John, what was the trajectory that you did to move your foot from, like, point A, carpet, to point B, assumedly a wall or a small dog or something that resulted in the toe stubbing? Like, what was
My
the
dog
sequence
isn't
of
wrong.
events?
Here's the sequence of events. I'm actually sitting crisscross, and I accidentally smacked my toe. That's what happened.
The plot thickens.
Yeah. I still need you all to climb out of my ass. Folks, look, it's time to start the Video Game Choo-Choo podcast. I'm your host, John. With me this week are the three people who dare laugh at my pain.
Uh-huh.
We have Ryan.
Yep. I'm back. Not hosting this week because John's here, but I am welcoming my role as as one of the Three Stooges here tonight. So should be a good time.
I will say, Ryan, I got I didn't just get some, but a lot of us got some feedback that you were a good host.
Well, that's good.
So
I'm glad my warm body was a good host for this podcast last week. You know, I really try my best to nurture the podcast, to provide it with nutrients,
To suckle it.
to give it some vitamins. Yeah, exactly.
you need to stop right now.
Okay.
Andy's here.
So you guys know the end of the Shawshank Redemption when he climbs through the tunnel?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
That's me crawling out of John's ass because he's so upset about it.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Good.
Mhm.
Good.
Thank you for doing
No
so.
problem. I love to bring rich visual imagery to the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a tapestry.
And for the first time in months,
Mm-hmm.
Niall,
Hi.
you're making your oft requested and deeply beloved appearance on the podcast.
It's my quarterly appearance on the show.
Yep.
It's our quarterly review.
Mm-hmm. You're all bad.
It's the quarterly disappointment from Niall. Niall, what are you disappointed in this time?
Just all of this in general, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's a good place to start.
Yeah, Should we just have this meeting now? I mean, we've been talking about it for a few weeks, so,
Yeah, let's just get it out of the way.
Yeah. The podcast is bad. That's about it.
Come on.
Mm-hmm.
We're making it better. Like, we talked about B-Movie for like half an hour, or they
Yeah.
did.
I
They talked
did.
about B-Movie for
I
a
did,
while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heralded the coming of that film into the podcast, so to speak. I held it by the hand and led it down the dark path to our doorstep, our threshold, if you will. I invited that evil in here.
So how do we get it out?
You don't. You know, once you've got a bee infestation, a bee movie infestation, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
You really just kind of have to let it run its course, you know. They say that a bee's wings are too small for its big fat body, and a bee shouldn't be able to fly anyway. But, you know, give it some time, and these bees they'll fly away, you know. We'll move on to greener pastures, or maybe, yellower pastures, and talk about the Minions or something. I don't know. Maybe turn our targets towards the Smurfs movie. Some other kind of intellectual property that is sort of a meme, but not really. You know, get that SEO up. Talking about trolls, I guess. I don't know. Listen, John. Once you talk about B movie, you just kind of have to run away with it, I think. But
I'd rather run away from it. But you know,
listen. You have my solemn vow that I will not discuss B movie on this podcast tonight.
Well, there are at least 500,000 other movies that you could possibly discuss.
Yes.
So
did y'all see that
shit's gonna go
thing
down.
about that Netflix show that had like a dick in the background, and it was about like a happy little bee, and it was like
No.
a kid's show, but it had like a dick drawn on a log. Yeah, hold on.
I'm surprised that hasn't happened like way earlier.
Also,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure we got a question about the B movie this week. I think
I think we did.
Yeah, so
I think we did. We'll get to that when we come to it.
Is the B movie
Might be.
our like new Duke Nukem?
No,
I hope not.
I think B movie is a little bit oversaturated for the time being. If you will.
Stop.
And
Yes.
I think one episode is maybe the most we need at this point in time. Maybe when they release like the B movie 10th anniversary Blu-ray or like the DVD set or something, then we can bring it up again. But I think for now we're good. You know,
The 5-disc Seinfeld selections
yes,
edition.
yes, absolutely. Jerry Seinfeld's greatest hits, B movie, 4 episodes of Seinfeld, and then the Buntain Simpson comic, and that's it. And it's all on VHS.
I discovered something recently, and it blew my mind. Seinfeld the show was originally called, and I swear to God, it was originally called The Seinfeld Chronicles.
Yes, I did know
Fuck
that.
you, that's a lie.
That is 100% true.
That is, I'm backing up John on this. That is absolutely true.
Oh my god, yeah, it is.
That's my favorite JRPG.
Seinfeld Chronicles X.
Oh boy. Yeah, X2 was a little weird when Jerry and Kramer became pop idols, yeah.
I was pretty into it though when George climbed into a mech and then hit a baseball very well in it because he hadn't been nutting. That's a Seinfeld episode, right?
That's like 4 Seinfeld episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of PUD related content there.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Folks. Video games.
Allegedly.
I know. You can stop booing. With a video game choo-choo, though, we gotta touch upon it at least once during the show, alright, everybody? Goodness gracious. Ryan, since you've been so, and I don't mean this as a dig, please don't take this as a dig.
Sure.
But since you've been talkative so far, why don't we go ahead and talk to you about what you've been up to?
Sure.
What have you been up to so far?
John, I'm glad you asked. This last week, I have been doing not a whole lot of anything, to be completely honest. I have played some games that I can talk about, if you would like me to.
I beg you to.
I
need you to, or else the podcast will fall to shambles.
Thank you. That's the kind of praise I need to hear. That's what gets me out of the green room every day and puts me on the stage here with you all. So, first off, this is a game that I just finished the review for today, actually, mere hours before recording this podcast, and it might be on the site before you hear this. I have been playing the 3DS game Metroid Samus Returns.
Hell yeah.
That's right. That game is very good.
So for those who do not know what Metroid Samus Returns is, could you please fill us in?
Yeah, of course. So, if you're familiar with Metroid, outside of Samus's appearance in the revered Smash Bros. Franchise, you might know Metroid as being in kind of two main delineations. There's the sort of classic Metroid stuff, 2D side-scrolling, the kind of progenitor of the phrase Metroidvania, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
These are games that are, largely focused on exploration, on uncovering maps, on finding power-ups and upgrades, and generally kind of cavorting about whatever world the game places you in. And then the second part, or the second subset of Metroid games, I should say, is the stuff like Metroid Prime. First-person kind of shooter games, mostly sort of exploration adventure games, but Samus Returns is one of the former. It is they call it 2.5D. It's pretty much just 3D graphics on a two-dimensional plane. It is a side-scrolling adventure game. It is actually a reimagination of the Game Boy game Metroid 2 Return of Samus. And, I think it's appropriate that they should remake this game, or reimagine it, I should say, because it's definitely not a straight remake. It is very much a game which takes the concepts that are sort of inherent in the original Metroid 2, and takes them and expands them to spin out a completely new experience. Not just new in terms of Metroid 2, but new in terms of the Metroid franchise as a whole, I would say. This game, the plot, you are Samus, you are a bounty hunter, you're kicking ass, taking names, and you land on the planet SR-388 to find the last remaining Metroids in existence and destroy all of them. It plays a little differently if you're familiar with stuff like Super Metroid. It's a little bit different than that in the primary crux of the game, the main mechanic, so to speak, is clearing a certain quota of Metroids, so the world opens up new areas per every, 4 Metroids, 7 Metroids, 10 Metroids, like that kind of thing, and each area unlocks a new area. But it's a really fantastic game. If you're out there and you're hearing about this, but maybe you haven't been keeping up with the development, with the promotional materials or that sort of thing, the big spin on this game is that they have implemented a series of new abilities where you have this meter called the Aeon meter, something like that. It's AEION, and you can use this Aeon gauge to perform stuff like temporary shields, scanning the map, or boosting your damage and that sort of thing. And it's really interesting in that the combat of this game is much different than any other Metroid game I've ever played. I say this in the review, and I hate to be this guy, but it reminds me a bit of Dark Souls in some ways, in that it's very...
Oh no.
Listen, I'm not gonna say it's like Dark Souls because it's hard. It's like Dark Souls because it's very defense-based combat. You really have to kind of take your time and learn enemy patterns and use this deflecting uppercut move that stuns enemies so you can deal a whole bunch of damage. It's much more metered than other Metroid games. Like, you have to put in a lot more effort into the combat, I think, and that's very interesting to me, because instead of being something like the original Metroid 2, where you fight the Metroids and there's 5 different stages of Metroid and you fight kind of the same ones over and over again, they've taken this core concept of fighting sort of the same bosses repeatedly and using that to make a scenario where you kind of have to learn boss patterns. You have to pick up on the behaviors, the attacks, the like the damage and all that sort of thing. And you really have to nail down what it is that makes these encounters tick, so to speak, because this game has kind of really cut back on the amount of energy tanks you can find. There's really not a whole lot. And in something like Super Metroid, if you know where to look, they're figuratively just like all over the place. This game is very sparse with its tanks, and they're not hidden as much because it wants you to find them. Like, it wants you to know where they are and to find them to use in this combat, because it wants you to get so good at playing defensively, I guess, that you don't take a whole lot of damage. And that's what's interesting about it. I think this game has made the entire Metroid experience really streamlined and really accessible to people who have never played any of these games before.
Right.
Because they do a very good job of balancing out these new combat mechanics with this more, like I said, accessible form of exploration where you can like scan for the map and that sort of thing, where it's sort of like the map stations, but it's tied to your Eon gauge, and you can only use it like so much before you run out, and it only reveals like a little bit of the map instead of like the whole thing. So it's an interesting juggling act for me, the different elements at play in this game, and I have really enjoyed it. I think it's a very challenging game. I think they use the 3DS to all of its strengths. Like, the map is on the bottom screen, like the beams, you can like touch to pick those up. You can put down like touch markers to pin points on the map, and just all these really great quality of life improvements, especially the control stick on the 3DS, which allows for a full kind of circular range of aiming with the arm cannon, and that is incredible. Like just saying it, you kind of take it for granted, but once you're playing and you're just able to aim in any direction across this 2D plane, it's really fantastic. And I think the game is so good that it makes me a little depressed that it took this long in the 3DS's life cycle for it to come out, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely, because that thing is, like, you talk about having the free range of aiming, which sounds kind of revolutionary for one of the traditional games in that series.
Yeah.
Because that's always been, like, because I'm a big Metroid fan, and that's always been one thing that, like, going back to those games has always kind of bothered me a little bit, is that, like, I have to move into position to be able to aim at this enemy that's like above me, so having that full like 360 range sounds amazing.
It's really cool because you can fire while you're moving, but you can also hold down the left shoulder button and it anchors you into place, and you can just like swivel your thumb around and go nuts with that beam cannon, and it's so much fun. It's a game that's very difficult, but it adequately provides you with everything you need to beat it, provided you're willing to kind of square up to the challenge it provides in places. Because it's not the hardest game I've ever played, but all the boss fights, especially like the Metroid encounters and stuff like that, can be really challenging if you're just kind of trying to like breeze through it in a way. The uppercut function is really fantastic. I think it is kind of flawed in places, because if you mess up with it, you'll get hit, and then you just kind of have to like plug away at the enemies with your cannon or whatever until they try it again. So there's just like this kind of awkward like 2 seconds where you're like, yeah, if I keep really plugging into this guy with my cannon, I can blow him up, but it's so much easier to do this sick like timed combo and like stun them and kill them with like one shot and that sort of thing. But I think it's really great. I think when all the elements work together, the flow of that game is incredible. It's really well paced. The backtracking is not so extensive that it makes you go all the way across the map like every 5 minutes, and I think part of that is a result of its sequestering into different areas delineated by how many Metroids you've killed and that sort of thing. But overall, if you're a fan of Metroid and you own a 3DS, or if you own a 3DS and you like Metroidvanias, or you like just adventure games, or you're just looking for probably one of the best 3DS games to come out in a while, then I truly cannot recommend this game enough. I really hope that after this, we get maybe like one more Metroid 3DS game. I'm not super hopeful about that, but the base mechanics laid out by this game and the way it innovates with the formula of that series really makes me think they could do something great with it if they improved on what this game puts out and made some kind of other title in the same style.
Yeah, I bet they do, but I bet they put it on Switch, because at this point, the length of time it would probably take them to actually make a brand new Metroid game, or even if they just like redid Fusion or Zero Mission, like it probably, I would love them to do that, but like the length of time that would take, it's probably not realistic for it to be a 3DS game.
No, yeah, absolutely. And I wouldn't mind it being on the Switch, but I can't believe I'm saying this. This game works so well on the 3DS that I can't even imagine playing it like on the Switch. It's the second screen capability is a godsend. I mean, I know you can do the control stick with like anything, but it really plays to the strength the strengths of that handheld in basically every way I can think of. So I would like you said, I would love to see a remake of Fusion or Zero Mission on the Switch, but God, this game is so good on 3DS. And I don't know. Do any of y'all have any questions about it? Anything you want to like know before we move on? Because that's really all I've been playing. So I don't have much else to say about any other games tonight, I think.
I can't think of anything. It seems like you went over everything, and you've got your review on deck. That'll probably be up by the time this episode launches, I think. So, check it out. Oh, it will be. Don't you worry about that.
Oh, okay.
Tell me what I'm
going to be doing with my review. All right, John, I see how this is.
I mean, I should.
Yeah, you should. And you will.
Andy. Thank you. Andy.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi. So I looked up the Seinfeld Chronicles, which is the pilot of Seinfeld, and I found this little bit of trivia at one point. So Jerry is bringing like a lady to his apartment from the airport, and I'm just going to read this verbatim from IMDb.
Sure.
George advises Jerry not to clean the bathroom because he thinks, and this is in quotes, filth is good. Then he tells Jerry to do the opposite of his instincts in these matters, and then, there is an episode about that later. Mostly, I just want to address the filth is good thing, because I think that says a lot about George Costanza as a man, and I've really been thinking a lot about him lately.
Really?
Well, it's just, he's kind of a tragic figure when you really think of, he's a very detestable man, but at the same time, things go so wrong for him that he's kind of I don't know. He's like a Shakespearean character, really.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's very tragicomic in a way,
Yeah.
He's like the Hamlet of our generation.
Yeah, exactly. And honestly, basically what I'm saying is they should watch Seinfeld in English classes in high school instead of reading Hamlet.
Yeah, well, give it 25 years or 250 years.
True.
And maybe they will be,
I guarantee you there's a literature course somewhere or a film course somewhere where you have to watch Seinfeld as an assignment or something like that. I guarantee it.
Oh yeah, my one of my intro radio, television, film courses while we were doing the TV unit, we watched the marine biologist episode of Seinfeld.
Good episode.
Yeah, where Kramer launches a golf ball into a whale's blowhole, and George pretends to be a marine biologist and all that kind of stuff. So it's out there. The truth is out there. You just gotta look for it.
Much like Sasquatch, Kramer's golf ball is out there.
It's true.
Yeah. Anyway, I should talk about video games.
Sasquatch, it is in the blowhole of a whale.
So something else that I found out because I actually got this information. I started listening to the Laser Time podcast where they talk about pop culture stuff, and they also mentioned that in the pilot, the Seinfeld Chronicles pilot, Jerry refers to Kramer as Kessler.
Yes.
Another wrinkle to that, in the original draft, his name was Hoffman.
That's weird.
But then here's the craziest thing. There was an episode that was that the episode kind of went backwards to like show how things like ended up the way that it was at the beginning of the episode.
Sure.
And by the end of that episode, things went so far back in time that it actually showed Jerry meeting Kramer for the first time and being like, "I thought your name was Kessler." And he's like, "No, it's Kramer." So they like go back to this like unaired pilot joke for no reason. Like, it's so weird.
Yeah.
I don't like Seinfeld anymore.
Yeah. It's not for everybody. Such a complex work of American fiction.
You know what is for everybody?
You've got to have the taste.
Everybody's golf.
Hell yeah.
Ooh. Nice.
Fuck yeah.
Nice
Fucking what's up?
segue.
I'm a professional. Yeah, so that's that. We're talking about video games now, folks. The latest hit PS4 game, Everybody's Golf, which I think... Is that technically a Hot Shots golf game, but just under a different name?
It's always been Everybody's Golf in Japan and Europe. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It rules. It fucking
does.
owns.
It's the best.
It's got like really fun, like cute character customization, and then it's also just like a fucking sick arcadey golf game. Like, it doesn't lean too hard into the like simulation stuff that these games can do.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a good balance between like sim stuff and Mario Kart or Mario Golf. I found Mario Kart. There are karts in it.
Yeah.
There's also fishing, which I haven't unlocked yet. So you've been playing this too, Niall.
I have, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't gotten the fishing yet. I just got the cart last night.
I haven't even gotten the cart.
It's real good. It's real fucking good.
It's like... I don't know, it just feels really good, and it's like really satisfying when you get like below par, which you're like, duh, that's the goal. But like, it's just this incredibly arcadey fun. Like, I can pick it up and I can play it, and I can get really mad at it, and then I can stop playing it. So, going back to the Dark Souls comparison,
by all means,
it's that. It's Dark Souls for people that aren't babies, I think is how I'd put it.
Fair.
It's
That's
Dark
fair.
Souls for true Doom murder heads.
Okay.
Yeah, and I'm one. I got an eagle the other day, and I almost pooed myself.
Like a real eagle? Like a flame-breathing, iron-chested eagle of death?
No, like I got it 2 strokes below par.
Gotcha. Okay. So not as impressive.
No,
but still,
not as
still
impressive.
very nice, some would say.
Yeah. Also, you can skip the golf ball on the water.
Yes, you can.
Fucking dope.
That's pretty good.
It's just really like nice and relaxing and low pressure. Like, you can play around in 20 minutes, and it's just a nice chill time.
Yeah, it's like I've been very stressed with school and work lately, and it has been like very therapeutic to just have this very cute, friendly game to play for like 20 minutes at a time.
Yeah.
Well, this does sound like Dark Souls. Okay.
Yeah. Like I said, it's Dark Souls for people that, love good things. I lost the joke.
Yeah, it's okay. You'll get it next time.
Yeah. I was gonna say Dark Souls for people who love to nut, and that just...
You've unlocked something I haven't.
May want to dial that one back a little bit.
I mean, speaking of not dialing things back, the other game is a game we've all been playing, actually. I'm playing a lot of Jackbox with some chuckleheads I know. It's
really?
You guys, it's you three. And a couple other people, too.
Huh.
Okay. Yeah.
Sounds fake, but okay.
That's been very fun. Those games are impeccable. But also really do expose you to the darkness in your friends' hearts in a way that you don't expect. And by that, I mean, I know you all think less of me now.
Well, look, you can't get less than 0.
Negative numbers do exist, Niall.
Wow.
See, at that point, you would have to start thinking of Niall more if he thought negative less of you. Damn, mind freak. Numbers.
Wow.
Yeah. Pretty crazy,
folks.
Huh?
Folks, I hung out with some friends a couple nights ago, and I played some Jackbox, and I had one of the worst experiences of my life.
Really?
Yeah, I went over there, and I was coming up with banger after banger. I was just like, I was coming up with the most classic bits. I don't remember them.
I don't believe you.
Do you think I wrote them down?
Well, maybe you'd remember them since you seem to have such a vivid remembrance of this event.
I remember the Paul Giamatti t-shirt. I remember the important things.
I can't stop thinking about the Paul Giamatti t-shirt.
The Paul Giamatti t-shirt, we played TKO, and
Christ.
This drawing emerged of a little, like, blue dot man with a big old smile and some sunglasses, and he was waving.
Imagine Cool Spot, but blue.
Yeah.
Yeah, and someone got that in TKO, and then they gave it the caption Paul Giamatti, and it did extremely well. It didn't win, which I think is a crime, but and basically for like a good 2 days, literally like everyone that played in that game was thinking about buying that shirt. And there was a conversation where we found out none of us drew it.
Yeah.
Which I guess it was filled in by the game, but it did make me feel haunted for about 10 minutes.
Sure.
It was frightening, yeah. It
was like alternative universe Cool Spot transmitting across the scrim of the globes of the universes into our game of TKO, begging for help as his world is consumed by fire and flame.
Absolutely.
Well, I'm just gonna wear them on my torso instead.
Great,
of course. So this horrible TKO. No, it wasn't TKO. This horrible Quiplash 2 event. I was posting banger after banger. I thought I was doing a good job. Every time I would get paired up against something, my fucking friends, who are all huge K-pop nerds, would just write down the name of some K-pop idol, and they'd be like, oh, that's hilarious. And I'd be like, I don't understand who this is. This is just, I don't know who this person is. What humor can be derived? Like, I'm sitting here making jokes the whole family can enjoy. And they're just fucking...
I doubt that. Maybe a whole family of 21 and up-year-olds who are actually roommates and aren't related at all.
Perhaps. Some people have fun grandmas who are okay with cussing. Who knows? I can't tell you if they are or not.
Okay. I'll back off.
But listen, all I'm trying to say is... it was shameful and I was funny. And, you know, sometimes you have to think about others when you're casting your vote in Quiplash.
Don't think about K-pop. Don't think about K-pop idols. Think about the K-pop in your heart. That's the message. That's the love. Those are the vibes.
Less K-pop, more Funko Pop.
K-pop. Just say Nop. It's Nope without an E.
See, I was thinking like...
this is really getting away from you all here.
I was like, before you say K-pop, make sure you're okay, Pops. like that's kind of like a check yourself before you wreck yourself kind of deal, you know?
Absolutely. Andy, what else have you been playing?
Let me think. I've been playing a bunch, if I'm being honest. I've been playing some Cook Serve Delicious 2.
Right.
Nice.
Don't really have too much to say about that. I'm very early in it. It's not clicking quite yet. Like the first game kind of just immediately clicked with me, but it also is like, I don't know, that game feels like it's still kind of in early access.
Is it out officially?
It's out officially. They didn't do early access.
Okay.
They just put it out and then like had to roll back some features.
Sure.
When they released it, which is why I was like, well, why didn't you just say this was early access or something? But they had to delay it already, so you know, I understand. Other than that, the big one's been Destiny 2. I've played through like all of Destiny 2 except for like the raid. I got weird feelings about that game.
Yeah.
Share them.
I like it. I think I like it.
Mm-hmm.
I like how it feels, and I like the guns, and I like doing multiplayer, and I like when I'm like doing shit with pals, but when I step away from it and I think about it, I don't like it, and it's a really fucking weird feeling.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, I think it does a really good job with its reward loop, and like it's a very entertaining hamster wheel, but then I come away feeling like, well, I've just been running on a hamster wheel. I don't feel satisfied so much. And that's not always true. Sometimes, like, I've done shit with foe of the show, Mike Casamano. There are nights when we play and we do stuff, and it feels great. And it's like, I got this cool thing, we did this cool mission, and I had a lot of fun, and I felt okay about it. But then there's nights where I'm just like, I just played this for like 3 hours to get like nothing, and I just feel unfulfilled, and I think that's both like a pro and a con of the like MMO structure of it, because it's all loot based, right? So while I really do like playing it, it doesn't have enough like, the core gameplay doesn't have enough like uniqueness like an Overwatch or like even something like Lawbreakers has, like, because that has the mobility stuff. This is cool and it's well made, but it's also basically Halo with some new powers.
Yeah.
And at a certain point, there's only so much that can do.
Sure.
So, like, if I'm not getting that sort of huck from it, or if I'm just doing multiplayer, then I run into that problem. Single player is a little different. Single player does feel a little cooler because you're not you're less constricted in what type of weapons you can use, and multiplayer, you're like, I say single player, I mean PvE. In PvP stuff, you kind of need to use like an auto rifle and like a grenade launcher or a rocket launcher, maybe a sword, and then whatever. But in PvE, I can use like this weird pistol or like a sniper rifle. And, like, there's ways to make those viable in PvP, obviously, but it just doesn't feel like it's in there, I guess. Like, it doesn't feel in meta.
Sure, yeah.
To use dumb esports terms. But it's kind of like... So, it's kind of like if... I keep comparing it to Overwatch, probably unfairly, because that is the touchstone big shooter I have right now.
Sure, yeah.
But it's like, it's Overwatch without the character variety, and the loot boxes also determine what you can do. Does that make sense? Kind of? Because there's a lot of things that, so the way I know Niall's been playing this, and I don't know how familiar you guys are with the mechanics, but the way Destiny works is you have a level and you have a power rating. Your level doesn't really matter. You hit level 20 by the end of the campaign. It's very poor structure, I think.
Oh, it's
not
awful.
Going to get into that. Yeah, I think it's a terrible structure. That being said, endgame is super fun when you're level 20 and you're just trying to get that power number up, which is basically your gear level. But you're locked off from doing certain things until you get your gear level high enough. You need to reach 260 to access, like, a bunch of stuff. And then I think you need to reach 270 to access the raid. And then even then, everyone's like, yeah, but you should be 280 for this. So you're basically playing, like... Because I'm at a point where it's like, oh, I'm not doing strikes because strikes are like their special like mini raids and like their 3-person missions that you can do. I'm not doing those because you don't get as good loot as you do from public events when you make them heroics, and those aren't as fun. And it's one of those things where this game is so much better than the first one, but it still feels like it has so far to go in like refining the like actual fun part of the gameplay. Does that make sense?
Sure. Yeah.
I don't know, Niall. You're kind of having a even more like not feeling experience with it, right?
Yeah, like I mean, so shooters aren't generally my thing anyway. Like, the only first-person shooters I've really liked in the last few years have been stuff like Doom or Shadow Warrior 2, where it's very much like, here's just chaos, get your big shotgun and go wild. Like, that's kind of what I like in a first-person shooter, and like, Destiny is very much not that style of shooter, which means it's kind of, you know, fighting an uphill battle for me to begin with, and then, like, I don't feel at the point that I'm at that the loot stuff is enough. Like, I was kind of expecting a more, let's say, like, Borderlands style experience where you are constantly just picking new loot up in every battle, but I feel like in Destiny it's absolutely not that, especially in the early goings. You're kind of maybe getting a new weapon, a mission, a lot of the time. I'm just not, like, really getting my teeth into it. I think I might actually be done with it now that it's, like, I'm near the end of the campaign, but it's starting to say, like, oh, you need to be this power level and this actual level to do this mission, and I'm just kind of, I don't feel the draw to, you know, grind out the side quests or the public events or whatever to actually get my level and power up to that point. I also feel like that game has a lot of really, really, really terrible platforming in it. And I know, like...
Really?
Yeah, and I mean, I know, again, that's me being like, oh, my favorite game ever is Mirror's Edge, so of course I'm gonna be, like, going over, like, first-person platforming with, like, a fine-tooth comb or whatever, but I feel like it's really floaty in a way that it shouldn't be. I feel like there was one point in the campaign where I said to myself, okay, this is where I'm supposed to jump. I'll jump down here. I jumped down there, and then I realized, oh, I wasn't supposed to jump down here. There's nowhere that the game wants me to jump, so I have to jump into this abyss and die and respawn. And every time I respawn in that spot. So I had to kind of, like, Skyrim myself across these, like, tiny little crags of rock just to get across it. And I was the entire, like, any time that it makes me do first person platforming, I'm just thinking to myself, you know, I could boot up my PC and just play Mirror's Edge and have a lot more fun than I'm having right now. And, like, there's so many games that are out now and so much stuff I want to play that I've just been thinking, I'm not having a good time with this. I'd rather be playing Yakuza. I'd rather be playing Everybody's Golf. I'd rather be starting Divinity 2. Like, it's not grabbing me. And I don't know that I'm going to finish the campaign or try it again. Like, I feel like it's lost me at this point.
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, I will say, like, you playing it solo probably fucking makes it even worse, because...
Probably.
The reason I'm going to keep playing this is because it's a very good social game, personally speaking. It's a thing I can chill out and play with some friends, and, like, it is satisfying doing, like, a mission with your friends and doing it well, and then one of you gets something cool from it. That's still satisfying. I think the big problem with it is that if this game came out in another year, like, it would totally be doing, like, I feel like I would be praising it way more, but there's so much to compare it to now, and there's so much, like, there's so many things that have, like, improved on stuff, like, this loot system, or, like, multiplayer, like, PvP, like, there's so many things I've played that have improved on a lot of this, that I'm coming away being like, this is fine, but it could be great.
Yeah, like, I can totally play that game and say, like, this is a totally competently made, like, decent shooter for people who like those games. Like, if you like Destiny or that style of shooter, like, absolutely, I could see people loving this game. But I feel like it's just not my kind of game, and I also feel like they do a really poor job at differentiating upfront what character classes are, and I feel like I would be more inclined to keep playing that game or to play it online with, like, you and Mike or whoever if there was character classes that I could play and enjoy, I suppose. You know, like I generally don't like being like a frontline attacker, which I feel like is what every role you can play in that game is. Like if there was a straight up support class, I could see myself getting into it a little bit more maybe, but you know.
Yeah, like I definitely think that one, there's some like new player friendly stuff that they should have done. Mm-hmm. And two, like there is no support class. Like warlocks have some healing stuff and titans can make shields. And then like there's a subclass for the hunter that's like like AoE crowd control steps, crowd control type stuff. But it doesn't really surface that in a way, and it doesn't also change. Like it's cool and like, but at the end of the day, your goal is still do more DPS, right?
Yeah.
So it again, like there are more class-based shooters out there now that vary the stuff up a little more. And while I think that the classes in it, like I do like the differences between classes. I think warlocks are really cool. I really like the hunter supers. Like I'd like all the super abilities in this game, I'll be honest. But at the same time, it's just like they all kind of like this is my problem with this game, I guess, as distilled as I'm talking it out and sort of figuring this out, is that on the surface, it's super fucking cool. It's very flashy. It's got a great aesthetic, and like, you know, like it's a fun multiplayer. Like it's a multiplayer shooter that you can play with a bunch of people. That's super active right now, with an emphasis on co-op, which is always a thing that I like. And then when you get back down to the core stuff about it, you know, like what is the hook to keep going? What is the like what is the core of the gameplay? Like when you get down to its base elements, I just don't find it super impressive. I think it's completely competent. I think it's fine, but I don't think it's like, I don't know. I'm gonna always, like, unfortunately, when it comes to media, you kind of always compare things. I'm gonna compare it to other shooters with either like I'm going to compare the traversal in this to Titanfall 2, which it doesn't hold a candle to. No, I'm going to compare the class stuff to games like even Battlefield, I think, does some more interesting classes with its like engineers and medic stuff. I don't know, like it's just one of those things where it feels like it is a very decent thing that has potential to be more. And that kind of is the problem that Destiny keeps coming back to.
Sure. Yeah.
Like, that was the thing with the first game, was that by the time Taken King came out, it was really cool for a lot of people. But that was, like, what, 3 expansions in?
Yeah,
like,
pretty sure.
Like, it took them over a year to make that game what it should have been at launch. And I have a feeling that we're going to see that a lot here. Like, right now, like, even there's a lot of talk right now, they changed some of the raid order, and like I said, I haven't been able to play that yet. But they changed some of the raid order, and it's made that really annoying for a lot of people. It's made it less fun, and like, they're obviously actively still tweaking this stuff, and I'm just hoping it ends up being more like what they did with the first Destiny, and not more stuff to the detriment to just make more challenging, so it's harder to get the cool loot, but what you're doing, like, at the end of the day, like, my goal should be to beat the raid, not to beat the raid to get a new gun.
Right.
I guess that's just my philosophy towards it. Obviously, the MMO feedback loop reacts differently with people. It's a reason why I like JRPGs that are very simple, just like, you level up, your numbers go up, you're stronger. Like, I like games like that. But I think with this, it's just not enough. I don't know. That's basically what I've been playing. I've been playing a little The Witcher 3. That's very good. Horizon, I've been really liking. That's a game I actually wish I was spending more time with. Horizon. Zero Dawn. That game is incredible, honestly. And then I got Dishonored 2 as well, and that game,
nice.
I'm liking that a lot. I really like the first Dishonored, and the second one is finally like seeing this like Death of the Visitor Traveler. What is it? Death of the Stranger.
Outsider. Stranger.
Death of the Stranger stuff.
Outsider.
Is it Outsider?
I'm pretty sure it's Outsider.
Okay.
Yeah.
Death of fucking not quite Black Parade era Gerard Way, because that's what he looks like. Like he's got the short hair, but it's not bleached blonde. I don't know what they're doing there. Anyway, that came out and had a lot of top people talking about those games, and I was like, oh, I never played the second one, so I picked that up, and I'm really, really liking it.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Other than that, I don't know. I probably have played more. It's been a few weeks and I play way too many video games, but I've taken up enough time.
Hey, that's alright. That's why we're here. We all play games, you know? Gamers existence, gamers commune.
Or do the games play us?
Ooh.
Are we really, are we the controllers of the games, or are we in this gamer gulag? Really?
Yeah, those are some wise thoughts. Thank you, Andy. Just some thoughts. That's all right.
Thank you for listening to my Thursday night rant on Destiny.
No problem. Niall.
Hi.
Hello. How are you?
I'm good. I'm not too bad.
Have you been playing anything?
I've been playing a lot of stuff.
Let's hear it.
Well, we talked about Everybody's Golf. We talked about Destiny. Something I do want to talk about. It's been a couple of weeks since I beat it, but I really want to talk about it on the podcast because I don't think anyone else is going to play it. Fair
enough.
At least I don't know if anyone else would maybe want to play it. But I played a game called Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
And I think that game is really, really, really good. I might say that it's the best game I've played so far this year. I don't know that I'd say it's my favorite game that I've played this year, but I think it might be the best. So for people who don't know what it is, and it seems like that's a lot of people because nobody kind of knew what it was until it came out. It's a game. It's the new game made by Ninja Theory, who made DMC. What was that game?
Enslaved.
Heavenly Sword, and they made Enslaved. Yeah, they're a big character action studio. And everybody, I guess, kind of thought this game would be a character action game, and it very, very much isn't. It's
okay.
It's a. I guess you'd call it like. Maybe like 50% walking simulator, like 30% puzzle game, and 20% action game, I suppose.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
And it's really meticulous action too.
Yeah, it's super meticulous, because it sort of plays into the overall like narrative of the game, which so it's a game essentially about psychosis and mental illness. And it takes it very, very seriously in a way that games and media in general don't. Like, as you're coming into the game, like, in those opening credits, the first thing you see is mental health supervisor. So, like, it's very upfront about this is what this game is about. It's set in sort of this mixed, like, Norse Celtic mythology era where you're playing as a woman named Senua who suffers from psychosis, and she is journeying to hell to retrieve the soul of her dead lover, basically.
Okay.
So as you're kind of going through the game, like right from the start, you're hearing voices all around you, and it's like this real binaural sound where you're hearing things from all angles at different frequencies and different volumes, and like that's sort of what drives you through the game, is these voices telling you what to do or where to go, and you have some voices shit talking you basically and some encouraging you, and like it's very claustrophobic. It spends a lot of time in Senua's head, it goes through like a really like subtle and really like heartbreaking depiction of psychosis. It looks really, really good. Like Ninja Theory's games have always kind of, on a technical level, pushed the boundaries, especially with facial animations. And I think this game is about as close as we're going to get for quite a while to crossing the other side of the uncanny valley.
Okay.
Like the facial animation is amazing in that game. Like there are times when you'll just like see single muscles in Senua's face twitch, or like it looks so real in a way that I think really kind of adds to what they're trying to do. And I think for them, I think for the most part they get it right. And
One thing I was gonna say was that like I have watched some footage of Hellblade.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I watch it, my eyes are just constantly like drawn to her face. Like, just the detail in her face is just it's overwhelming, and you can see like every emotion she's going through. It's like you said, it's so heartbreaking, and it's a powerful thing to just see in this character, and I'm glad that they put the time to portray it in that way, like because I feel like if they didn't touch upon these things with such detail in the character's face, I don't think it would have worked as well.
Totally,
because it really just helps. It helps make it just way more understandable, and just I don't know. I think they pulled this off like as well as they possibly could. I would think.
So that's like a strength of Ninja Theory as a studio, I find. I haven't played this myself. I actually do really want to play it before the year's out.
Yeah, me too.
But the Enslaved, it's not so much in DMC. I found like there was some in DMC, like the quality of the animation, but Enslaved, they managed to really nail emotion, I found, for certain points. And like they've like basically are the like masters of motion cap in games right now, I'd say. Particularly facial mocap. Like I think the only studio that kind of touches them is Naughty Dog. But even then, like it's not as it's much more interesting what I find Ninja Theory is doing.
Absolutely. And like John kind of mentioned like the combat in that game. So like the camera in that game is super tight on your back at all times. So when you're in combat, it stays that tight, and you're only ever fighting like maybe at most 3 or 4 enemies, but because the camera is so tight into you, it feels really claustrophobic, and you're often in like really small, dense areas too. So you're kind of having to listen for these voices in your head telling you, watch out to your left or behind you or whatever. So it kind of becomes this thing of keeping your enemies in your line of sight as much as it is actually taking them down. And and it makes all the like encounters, and there's maybe only like 7 or 8 actual encounters in that whole game. Like you can't even draw your sword when you're not in a fight. So like it makes them all feel really significant. And also all the different kinds of enemies have very specific ways that you have to fight them. Like there's your standard like normal enemy who you can just attack. But then there's enemies who can't be blocked, so you have to get around them. There's enemies who, even if you attack them, their momentum will carry them through to hit you. There's enemies who have shields, so you have to kind of wait for the shield to open or get around to their unblocked side. So the way it sort of functions is it can often lead to you like saying, okay, I need to open up this person so that I can actually attack them, but doing so will expose my back to somebody else. So it becomes way more tactical, I think, than a lot of Ninja Theory's games tend to. Like, it's much less about comboing or even button mashing in the way that a character action game typically is, and much more about, like, knowing where everything is, knowing where your opponents are, knowing how you take them down, you know, knowing what your priorities should be, knowing who you should be trying to take down first, knowing if you should even be trying to take this person down until everyone else is dead. Like, it's really, really well done in that respect.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's just like, it's something totally unique, and I think people should play it, which is why I wanted to talk about it.
Yeah, for sure. How long of a game is this?
I'd say it's about maybe 6 to 8 hours, depending on how long the puzzles take you. Yeah, it's not super long.
It's like half the price of most AAA games, right?
Yeah, it's like 30.
It's 40.
I think
that's half the price in Canada.
Yeah.
I thought it was 30.
I think it might have been 30 when it released. When I bought it, it was 30 anyway. It might be different. But yeah, like, it's totally independently done, which is kind of amazing, because there's been sort of this narrative for years now that to have games that have super high production values like this you need a publisher, you need a huge team, you need a huge budget. This game was made by like 20 people in Ninja Theory as a side thing.
Yeah.
So, like, I think it shows also that, like, indies are going to get the ability to really up what they can do in the next few years. You know, obviously Ninja Theory is a little bigger than most independent studios would be, but it sort of shows that an independently made game can actually challenge what we think of as AAA development, and maybe that could help stem some of the shitty stuff that's coming out of AAA at the moment.
For sure.
So yeah, that's a really good game, and I think people should play it.
I will probably play that as soon as I get the money to buy it.
Yeah, same.
Awesome. Okay. Is there anything else that you want to cover?
There's a couple more things. I'll just quickly touch on it because it's not really something I can talk too much about, I suppose. I've been playing a little bit of Pro Evolution Soccer this year. Normally I buy FIFA, but it's a World Cup year, so they'll have a World Cup game out in like 6 months. So but I really like the way Pro Evolution feels. There's a lot of weird stuff in that game, like, because they don't have the licenses that EA has for FIFA, so you kind of have to go in and like download option files off the internet that other people have made and import them one by one, and it's a really lengthy process, which is kind of weird, but like, you can tell Konami kind of encourages you to do that, because they've had the commentators go out and like record lines for all the stuff they didn't license. So
holy shit.
Yeah. Like, I imported like all the files in that were up, and suddenly the commentators are like going through all the licensed names and stuff, and I was like, okay, you're really kind of skirting the legal system here, Konami, but whatever. It feels good. If you like football, you'll like that game. One really weird thing that I did see in it, so they don't have player licenses for most, or they don't have players scanned in, I guess. And I noticed, like, the players they don't have scanned in often look really bad, but in one case, something that like blew me away was I was playing as the team I support in real life, and I noticed that one of the players was white in the game, and he's not a white man in real life.
Okay.
Which kind of made me go, okay, all right, Konami, you put a lot of effort into this game. That's great. Yeah, it's a fun game. If you like that sport, you'll like that game. And I guess the other big thing I've been playing that we haven't talked about is Yakuza Kiwami.
Okay.
It sure is a Yakuza game.
Yep, that's exactly what I said.
Yeah. I like the Majima everywhere stuff for the most part, although there's that one bit that kind of made me go, ooh, that's...
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about, John, I assume.
I do, and the thing that, like, really bums me out about that part is that I feel like the conversation that Majima and Kiryu has is really good.
Yeah, it is. It's just...
Like, I love all the dialogue from that bit, it's just the fact that, like, yeah, they had to frame it that way. It's not good.
Yeah, it's not good. And that part actually happened to me at a point in the game where in the story, Majima really shouldn't be running around. I guess you know what I'm talking about there as well, John. But
okay, all right. So, look, okay, I'm not going to spoil anything for you, but you're right. I'm just going to say they write around that, and it is fucking hilarious.
Is it? Okay, I haven't gotten past that point.
They write around it.
That's like literally the last part of the story I was on. I really want to finish that game just because I love Yakuza, but it is the most Yakuza-ass Yakuza game they've ever made.
It's incredibly basic. I mean, there are so many bits that they should have, like, done some polish or some writing changes to.
Sure.
I hope that Kiwami 2 has more changes. Like, they've already confirmed a bunch of stuff that is completely different from 2. Like, I mean, we're not going to talk about this during news, so I'll just say it. Like, some stuff from, like, Famitsu and stuff, like, Majima's going to be playable in Kiwami 2, and, like, it's going to continue off of the story in Yakuza 0. And they're adding, like, pro wrestlers to the like
Masahiro
like
Chono.
Keiji Muto, baby.
Are they gonna be like bosses like they were in 6?
I don't know if they have really confirmed their involvement, but I would assume as much.
Like, I'm sure at the very least you can, like, fight them in the Coliseum or something like that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like the Coliseum stuff in Kiwami, when that happened, I was like, okay, this is really just a Yakuza game. Like, here's the customary Kiryu has to fight through a gauntlet in an underground fighting circle bit, and it's just...
Because the florist told him to, as it must happen.
I just wish that game had a little something more that differentiated it from the other games. It feels very much like here's just Yakuza 3 or 4, you know, like it doesn't stand out from the crowd at all. And I feel like I'm also being involved less in the sub-stories. Like, I feel like I'm finding less of them. I don't know if you felt that way, John.
No, I would say it's more the fact that the sub-stories are subpar compared to the other games. Like, I actually finished every sub-story in that game. I went through and I finished all of them. Like, I obviously wrote the review before I did that. I'm not crazy. But I went through and I finished all of them just because it was so, like, easy to do so. Like, there's an item that you can... I don't know if you have to get it from, I don't know if you have to pick it up from a locker or something, but there's an item that you can get that's like a little beeper thing that, like, actually shows you where all the different enemies are, or all the sub-stories are, and that made it so much easier.
Okay. Yeah, so, I just feel like as well they're not super unique sub-stories, you know, like there was one point where I got a sub-story where there was a guy sitting on the side of the road and he was like, go get me some alcohol. And then I turned a corner and there was another sub-story where a guy was like, go get me some sake. And I was like, this is 5 minutes apart and in 2 different sub-stories that are basically the same thing. And I was kind of...
yeah. I've played the original Yakuza 1. And what it sounds like is that in both, like, kind of... Personally speaking, I think this is cool that they stuck so close to it, but it also sounds like it was to their detriment that they didn't change up the sub-stories enough from the original. Basically, like, the original game did not have the tone that later games have with the sub-stories. That came later. To my knowledge, I haven't played 2, so I don't know. And I didn't finish 3. But like when you get into 4 and stuff, that's when I really started seeing the weird shit that makes Yakuza really fun when you're getting away from what I really like the main stories in those games, don't get me wrong. I think they're some of the best written stories in games right now. But
sure.
The tonal shift isn't quite as stark in that first game. And I think, John, you talked to me about this where it was like, they've added some stuff that is very obvious that this is new content, and then there's the disconnect between that and the stuff they've brought from the old game, which is like out of date and very bland. Yeah,
it's the Majima Everywhere stuff, and then they added new cutscenes to like give more substance to Nishiki. And that is just so far leaps and bounds away from all the other writing in the game. And like I said, it is a little unfair, but they had the opportunity to, like, at the very least update it a little bit to make it not uneven. You know? For sure. Or to make it less uneven.
Yeah.
You know? I will say I'm a little more hopeful for Kiwami 2. With this stuff, because they're adding a lot more to it, and also 2 for a very long time, and in some circles still is considered the best Yakuza game. Like, it is held up there as one of the peaks of the series. I think like 6 has dethroned it now for some of the fan base, but that's not out here yet, obviously.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah. So I stay hopeful that they're gonna keep that fun tone.
Okay. Niall, is there anything else you wanted to talk about?
That's about it, I guess.
Okay. As for me, so
oh god.
Oh no.
There's just one game that I want to... Okay, that's a lie. I played 2 games recently. One of them is old and one of them is new. I borrowed a copy of Final Fantasy 15 from a friend of mine. That game's just like the most game I've ever played. Like, it's just fine. Playing it made me really miss The Witcher, though. Mostly because pretty much everything that you do in The Witcher feels like there's something to it. There's some kind of repercussions. And I'm not just talking about like I'm not thinking just like wide scale, like Mass Effect style Paragon and Renegade shit. Like helping someone in The Witcher brightens their day, very obviously. Or maybe you choose to help someone and something goes wrong and someone dies. Like, it's not always worldwide changes, but something changes in their life. That doesn't happen in Final Fantasy 15. There's no repercussions for any of the smaller things that you do. I keep running into dudes on the side of the road that need potions, and I'm like, the little bit in my head that's remembering The Witcher is like, do you remember in The Witcher when, like, there's a guy who asks you for help, and then if you do heal him, he kills you, like, or he fights you and all that shit. Like, in Final Fantasy 15, it's just, give him the potion. You have completed a sub-story. That's it. Like, yeah, I just spent, like, 100 gil, or gold, or whatever is it gil in Final Fantasy?
I think so.
Yes, it is.
It is, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Spent 100 gil to buy this potion, and that was it. Like, I got that check mark. It's really bland, and, like, I'm not getting anything out of it. The combat is really basic. It's one of the most bland experiences I've had gameplay-wise, and mostly story-wise. I just like the characters. I like hanging out with the boys. I wish that they were more talkative, honestly, just because I love... no, like, I love driving in the car and just, like, hanging out with them. But I would love to just hear them talk more. Like, I love looking at Prompto's pictures and just seeing, and, like, being able to tell him, like, hey, you know what? You haven't taken any pictures of Gladio lately. Why don't you take some pictures of Gladio?
I would never say that.
I understand. I mean, honestly, I mostly asked him to take pictures of Ignis because Ignis is great.
Yeah.
But like, I love that kind of interaction between these characters, and that's what really drives me to keep playing it. Like, it's the little things. It's hearing Ignis scream out, "I've discovered a new recipe!" Like after you read a sign, like it's so much fun. I just want to watch. I just want to watch like an anime. I know that there's like a 5-episode long anime about them, but I would love to just watch like a super long anime about these characters. Like I just want to see the boys hang out. That's what I really want.
I will say, I think you're pretty early on in the story still, right?
Yeah.
They get more talkative as the story goes on because they have more to talk about.
That's good. Yeah. I mean, I started to notice that.
Yeah.
Like, you know, stuff starts happening and they're starting to interact more. But yeah, I mean, like I just like honestly the little thing that's a little bit upsetting is that like I really like Ignis and Prompto. Gladio just keeps going in on people, and he's just unnecessary at times. Like sometimes I'm cool with him, but he goes in a little too hard sometimes, and I can't go with that. Like I feel like if I was hanging out with Gladio, I'd be like, you gotta tone it down a little, man. Like you're causing some shit. And then Noctis is just like a little boring.
Noctis has the depression. Noctis can be really funny sometimes. I really like Noctis.
I do love seeing his eyes glisten whenever someone mentions fishing.
It's
like
so
that
good.
That motherfucker loves fishing. Like
what was I gonna say? Oh, there are also side quests in the game that trigger more conversation. Like when you do stuff for Cindy, Prompto, like he's got a thing for her.
Yeah, Prompto's crush on Cindy is really cute. Like straight up, I was gonna I got like a picture, like Prompto took a picture of him with Cindy, and it was like legit cute. But he put a filter on it, and it was super bright, and it looked like shit. And I was like, dude, Prompto, I would have posted this on social media, but it looks like shit. I'm sorry, bud, but this isn't Insta-worthy, alright?
Fuck off.
Jeez, fucking Prompto. He needs to learn how to control his filtering. Anyway, so that's basically how I feel about Final Fantasy 15. I'll play more of it after I'm done with the next game.
Oh, no.
Danganronpa V3!
See you guys in like half an hour.
Yeah, see ya.
Yeah. If this segment takes half an hour, I'm going to drive off a cliff.
It won't take half an hour. I honestly don't have too many. Okay, I have some opinions, but they're mostly old because I talked about a lot of the opinions that I still currently have when I talked about the demo. It's the same thing. The same characters are bugging me. The tone is still a little weird, but I just got to the first murder, and the old Danganronpa gears are starting to turn. I'm getting back into it. I'm like, yeah, this is what I came here for. Like 75% of Danganronpa, of what I like about Danganronpa is the characters, I will be honest. But that 25% where the murder mystery comes in and stuff and shit starts hitting the fan, that's still so satisfying. And I'm getting ready for that classic Danganronpa, the class trial, the interactions, all these new elements in the class trial. I'm so ready to see them in this game. So I'm starting to enjoy my time with it, and I am starting to like some of the characters, like some of them. I still, I feel like I mostly just mentioned the characters I didn't like last time we talked, but I really like the, I forget her name. I don't know all the characters' names yet. I apologize. But there's the red-haired girl who's the magician. I love her. She is so much fun. She is lazy as shit. And she just doesn't want to put up with anybody. Like, if anyone talks to her, she's like, she looks like she's gonna pass out, like, constantly. She's just like, alright, I guess I gotta use my magic now. Like, she's so good. I want to be her friend. Like, I just want to hang out with her and just listen to her complain. It's so good. But yeah, like, I feel like a lot of characters are, I might have mentioned this again, a lot of characters are way too one note. And those are the characters that I just really can't stand. Another character that I started really disliking is, again, I don't remember her name, but it's the artist girl.
Oh, yeah. The, like, Hawaiian girl, right?
Yeah. I started to really dislike her because literally every single time she opens her mouth, she mentions the, like, god that she worships. And, like, it's every single time. She's just like, will someone please pray with me? Oh, I feel okay because the god told me to. And I'm just like, it's so fucking, it's just, it's so incessant. Like, it's, like, there's nothing to her character other than the fact that she's really religious. And again, like, maybe eventually there will be something, or maybe they're just gonna kill her, and, like, it's not gonna matter, because they were just like, well, we don't have to write anything for her, because she's just gonna die. But, like, even in Danganronpa 2, that was the thing that I loved the most about that game, was that the characters that died super early even had a lot of character development, and I got to know them really well. Mm-hmm. I feel like there's a lot of padding in this game too. There's a bit where the main character and her, like, basically her sidekick, like, went to go, like, set up some cameras in a room. And that scene lasted, like, literally 15 minutes. Because they had to talk about where they were going to put the cameras. They were talking about where they were going to stack some books. They were talking about an air vent. They're talking about, like, it just goes on and on and on. And it feels just so padded out. Like, and I understand that there should be some kind of writing about, like, oh, hey, this is what they did. But I don't need to see them discussing the fucking exact positioning and how much tape they're going to use. Like, that's so unnecessary. Like, that's something that you might talk about in real life, but when I'm reading a book, it doesn't say, like, and she woke up and she brushed her teeth and then she went and took a piss and then she took it, like, it doesn't fucking say that. Like, even though we know that's probably what happened, because that's what you do in real life, like, that's unnecessary, because it's the same thing as, like, when you're watching a TV show, nobody says goodbye because it's unnecessary dialogue, when they're talking on the phone. It's unnecessary dialogue, and you just don't really need that kind of stuff because you don't think about it.
I have, based on what I've played at the demo, and based on what you have told me about this game, I'm formulating my own sort of theory as to what's going on here, but I will refrain from saying anything about it until I have actually played the game.
I mean, I'm already coming up with some theories about, like, the fucking, like, what's going on in that game, and I think it's actually really lame if it's true. I'm crossing my fingers if it is, because, not to spoil what I'm thinking, maybe I'll talk about it, like, at a later date to kind of, like, let people know what I was thinking, but if it is, it feels like the creators of the game are complaining about having to make another game in a successful franchise. Like, they're almost sick and tired of... It's like they're sick and tired of making money. Like...
Well, let me just tell you, I know Andy and I just finished watching the 3rd season of Twin Peaks, and that may be more likely than you think, let me just say.
I mean, I don't know. I feel like there's a difference between, like... I feel like there's a difference, like, and especially when especially when motherfucker went out and made 2 separate animes about the shit. If you're sick and tired of it, don't make 2 fucking animes. Like, give yourself a break then, man. I don't know, Hidaka's not going to listen to my podcast, and even then, I don't know how much English he knows, so I'm going to go off a little bit, but and if he does hear this, I apologize. I'm sorry for hollering at you. But look, take a vacation if you're so upset about this. Alright, let's move on into...
Yeah, we've got to move on.
Yeah, I apologize. I got a little... That was the heated...
No, you're fine.
Heated gamer moment.
I mean... I'm interested to see what I end up thinking about that game, because there was some stuff I didn't like in the demo, but I don't think I had as much of a problem with it as you did in places, which is cool and all that, but sure. I'm interested to see if this game really is some kind of, like, commentary on sequels and, like, the kind of cyclical like retread of the kind of stuff from those games, or if it really just is like poorly written, because I think there's a fine line between that, and I'd like to give those games a little more credit than just thinking like, oh, this writing is bad now, but then again, those anime were apparently not very good, and Ultra Despair Ghouls was also like average, so I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, let's move on to news. We gotta keep going.
Okay.
What? Are we?
Am I echoing? Yeah. Okay, no,
I'm awake.
Good. Okay. Hello. Good morning.
Hi,
Andy. Since you're wide awake now, why don't you do your news story?
My thing is, I can't really point to one source for this, but it's kind of been a thing that's been gathered by the community for this game. So NBA 2K18 has a lot of problems with its microtransactions, and by that I mean they're fucking barbaric.
They're awful.
How so?
So I actually am a big fan of the NBA series, the NBA games. Like I've played since 2K15. I've played it every year. I'm skipping this year because of this. Essentially what they've done, so the way, for people who don't know, the way the NBA 2K games work is there is a virtual currency, just VC, in the game, and you use that to get cosmetic items, different
stats.
Like stat stuff. Like that's the main thing, is it's used for upgrading your stats. And in the past, usually you could get that just through playing, and be fine. The problem with 2K18 now, though, is they have dramatically reduced the way you can get VC just by playing. And they've also made it like more expensive to get things, and they've put in more ways for you to just waste it. I'm just kind of gonna go. So there's a pretty good post on the NBA 2K Reddit actually about this. They've sort of compiled everything that is going on with this right now. So originally they've lowered the price of this now, but they haven't gotten rid of this problem. You can't preview stuff like haircuts, and you have to repurchase haircuts that you've already bought. A lot of games now don't do that. They've lowered the price down to just 100 VC, but still, like in those, like at this point, with those games, with that money coming so hard, wasting it like that, I don't know. Like if you have to buy it again, it's a pain in the ass.
I think they've only lowered the price for cosmetics and not for stats.
They have not, no. They've also removed the bonus. In past games, you would get a bonus percentage of what you of what you've done through difficulty. So if you're playing on a higher difficulty and you get an A+, you get more than if you got an A+ on regular or on easy. They've removed that. I flattened, I think, from regular up, and I can't I don't know if they've kept it in so you still get less for lower difficulties. But I do know that they've removed the bonus for higher, which is a thing that like I would play on a higher difficulty and just pass a lot to get more VC so I could like play this game better. I should say a lot of this stuff, when we talk about stats and stuff, it's talking about My Career, which is sort of the campaign mode of these games. They always really go hard on marketing these. Like last year, one of the writers of Creed, I believe, wrote it. It wasn't Ryan Coogler, it was another guy who worked on it. But like they get like names to do this. And like they go really hard with it, but they're making it harder for you to enjoy it and progress without giving them a shitload of money. People have done the math. To get, so you start at 60 as your base stat. To get to an 86, which is sort of like an average good thing, you need to get an A+ in 240 games, an A+ rating. And games in that game can be really long, like minimum 20 minutes if you're a starter. If you're getting a C, it takes 360 games, and a B about 300. They've removed a lot of the daily login bonuses. And And then they've also made it so in the past you can make like multiple players and then use your, like I'm doing that right now. I was playing as like a small forward and I wanted to play as a center because it's a completely different thing as a more defensive position when I've been playing it. And in 2K17, your VC is account based. It's based on your entire PSN account, so you get it from different modes and stuff like that. It's player based now, like to my player in 2K18. So they've basically done a lot of really, in my opinion, almost unethical things to make it so to appreciate their game, which apparently is really good this year. Like apparently mechanically is really fun, which is a huge bummer.
Sure.
It looks really good. But to enjoy it at the level that you want to, you have to spend more money on what is already a full price AAA game.
Yeah. It straight up has like a free to play mobile like best value screen for the VC. I think
Great.
I think it was Polygon. I might be wrong, but they did the math on like the default amount of currency that they just give you when you start the game, which is enough to take you from like a 60 overall to like a 62. And that's if you don't spend anything on cosmetics. So it's really geared towards trying to pump as much money out of you as possible. I mean, they're selling a version of the game for like $160 at the moment, so.
Jeez.
Yeah. And I think it should be something that people keep an eye on, because 2K Sports isn't just NBA. No. And, like, if they try this with their other franchises, like, I think there needs... Microtransactions are kind of getting out of control in this year. Like, the change... We talked a little bit about when Overwatch changed the way their stuff worked, how that, like, has kind of become... On the surface level, it's more user-friendly, but in reality, it's not. Like, basically, it's at the point where these are becoming more and more egregious, and I think there's a conversation that really needs to be had.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think what 2K18 is doing is it's up there with Overwatch, but in a different way. Like, whereas, like, they're both super exploitative, but whereas Overwatch is essentially like a gambling economy that, like, gives you this artificial scarcity for cosmetics and tells you really want these, you should spend money to get them. Well, not to even get them, to get the opportunity to possibly get them. This is like straight up, give us $100 and you can have a player that's decent. Like, it's fucked.
Yeah. And like the even worse than Overwatch is cosmetic stuff is this is literally directly affecting how you interact with this game. This is affecting, like, how you can play. And in Overwatch, it's just skins. You're not trying to get, like, stats or anything.
Sure.
And, like, this is... No, this is bad.
It's literal pay to win, basically.
Yeah. Another quick thing worth mentioning about this is actually, I remember reading somewhere, I think it was the Sixth Axis was the site that did it. They removed their score from their 3 out of 10 NBA 2K18 review, seemingly from pressure from 2K.
Wow.
Yeah, with their main complaint being the microtransactions. So, you know. I think that's really worth talking about, and I hope that there's more pushback against this, because I really don't want this to become an industry norm.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's what I got.
All right. Okay. Ryan, would you like to do yours?
Would I?
Yes. Would you?
Would I?
Oh God.
Everyone seems to be laughing about something. I'm not quite sure what. I just have this very straightforward news piece on the upcoming, or maybe it's out already, I don't know.
It's out.
The recently released, I will say, fighting game, Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite. So the news is quick. You know, there's gonna be some DLC. There's gonna be some characters,
as they usually do.
Yeah, of course. So, some of them were already announced, but there's going to be Black Panther and Sigma, but the new ones are the titular Monster Hunter from Capcom's Monster Hunter games, the Winter Soldier, Black Widow, and Venom, which is pretty cool. I like Venom, but I really brought this up for one reason that I kind of wanted to breach with y'all, and we are running long, so I can't spend too much time on this.
Absolutely.
How familiar are you all with the story of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite?
Intimately.
Well, that's good, because I would go so far as to say that Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite might well be a contender for best writing in 2017. I mean, this is a game that crosses boundaries, literally and figuratively. I mean, there are two universes crossing over. But, they take risks. They make Spider-Man look like a really beefy dude with the head the size of a baseball. I really respect that.
Very little ass as well.
Yeah, he's like a big stick of beef jerky that's just kind of bulging out in the middle, I think. They give the people what they want to see, like Thanos getting Ryu's like shadow Street Fighter power or whatever. I mean, spoilers for Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite story mode, I guess. That's a pretty big one. Just gonna blow that one right open. Thanos steals Ryu's like what is it called?
I'm sorry. Dark Hado, right?
The Satsui no Hado.
Yeah. I'd like to just go ahead and put it out there that this game's story mode ends on a cliffhanger with Thanos about to throw a Hadouken at the physical representation of death in the Marvel universe.
Oh my god.
There's a couple, there's one really standout sequence where Frank West, Spider-Man, and Chris Redfield, who looks like a clay-faced potato man, go into the Umbrella headquarters, which is called Aimbrella. Yeah, and MODOK is the head of Aimbrella, which is actually super good. And they fight Nemesis, and there's like a one-liner where he's like, "I'm gonna knock this. You'll be seeing stars when I'm done with you."
That's what Hagar says. Yeah.
Yeah, it's such a good story mode. There's a great bit where Ryu has a monologue about how he's part of like a research team for some kind of universe monitoring like destiny balance group. I don't even know. I mean, this game is so, the writing of this game is so advanced that I can't even like wrap my head around it. That's the level that this is on. The writers of Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite were truly playing 4-dimensional chess when they wrote the narrative to the story mode of this game.
Yeah. So at one point, they try to get one up over on Ultron Sigma, the main villain.
Yes.
Again, like, Niall's gonna have like spoiler markings in the description, so please.
To be fair, Ultron Sigma.
If you're really,
or do you mean what they do to him? Because I thought you meant the existence of Ultron Sigma, and that was like
no. Ultron Sigma is we already know about Ultron Sigma. He's on the fucking cover of the game. So Dante tries to get one over on Ultron Sigma by like giving him the Soul Stone, because in order to properly use the Soul Stone, you have to have a powerful soul. And Ultron Sigma, because it's made up of two robots, he has no soul. However,
it's true.
It looks like it's like gonna blow him up or something, but it just makes him stronger. Like, they make this huge point of saying, like, yeah, like, you can't do anything with it, he doesn't have a soul. But then 2 seconds later, he's like, I'm Ultron Omega, and it's like way stronger, and it's like, what the fuck did you do this for, Dante? It's so stupid.
I don't know. Another great part of that game that you took some umbrage with, John, was Dante giving Rocket Raccoon his precious guns.
For no reason.
For some reason, what's her name? Morrigan from like Darkstalkers keeps trying to get down and dirty with Ghost Rider. I don't really know what the deal with that is.
She is so horny for Ghost Rider.
It's really weird.
There is like a good like.
This is not a bit. This is not a joke. Like, this actually happens in the story mode of this game.
Yeah,
she is really trying to get in those tight, like, flaming leather pants for some reason.
Yeah, there's a 3-minute long scene of her just like floating in front of him, just being like, oh, I can sense a passion within you, a fiery passion. And he's just like looking at her like, my head's on fire. That's probably what you're picking up. And she's just like, no, please allow me to tame the fire within. And he's just like, he's like, nope, nah, please leave me. Like, nope. And then and then someone shows up. I think like fucking Dormammu and like Firebrand show up. And then they're just like, well, we gotta fight now. Sorry, Morgan. Can't fuck me right now.
My favorite part of watching the cutscenes of this narrative completely disconnected from the rest of the game is just seeing these extremely arbitrary lead-ups to these fights that are justified on stuff such as, oh, you dropped this napkin 5 feet away from me, I guess we have to fight now. And then not actually seeing the fights, and it's just the next scene. It's really good. I highly recommend experiencing the game like this.
Another one of my favorite bits is that they had to shoehorn a disagreement with Iron Man and Captain America so they can have a Civil War fight.
Yeah, it's poor. Like I said, go on YouTube. All the cutscenes are up. If you really just want the cream of the crop, watch the Umbrella scene with Frank West and Hager and Spider-Man, and MODOK is there too, and so is Nemesis, which is pretty cool because Nemesis is fantastic. But anyway, I think it kind of got away from me on this. I really wanted to do an entire scene-by-scene, blow-by-blow, recreation of the narrative.
4-hour podcast.
But since we're running so long, I think I'll just have to leave it here. And, please, if you have the time to watch a literal feature film, then go check this out, because you will not see more idiotic writing in a video game this year, I think. So anyway, John, let's move on to the news.
Yeah, Niall, if you would.
Okay, so we talked a little bit about Destiny, a hobby grade game. We talked a little bit, or we mentioned Overwatch, another hobby grade game. You know what else is a hobby grade game? Battleborn, which is being canned, basically. The servers are going to stay up, but the next update for Battleborn is going to be its last, according to 2K. Which theoretically brings to an end the long and sad story of Battleborn. But old Duval Magic himself, Randy Pitchford, he's out there saying this isn't true, basically.
Plausible denial, I see.
Yeah. So after it was announced that basically this was going to be the end of Battleborn, as far as new content goes, old Randy gets on Twitter and basically says, no, we're going to keep supporting it until we're told otherwise. So
this is them telling you that.
Yeah, I guess nobody at 2K told Randy Pitchford that, hey, your game's done. Let me see if I can find the exact quote here.
I didn't mention this earlier, but I did go to I'll make this quick. I did go to an exhibit on video games at a museum in Austin this last weekend. And since Gearbox is a Texas-based company, they had a lot of Randy Pitchford memorabilia there. They had, Randy Pitchford's old teletype machine. They had his, Rolodex, basically. Just all this kind of Randy Pitchford ephemera that I was not prepared to see, but was certainly not unwelcome. So now I know what Randy Pitchford's teletype machine looked like. But anyway, sorry to interrupt.
Yeah. So the quotes from Twitter from Randy Pitchford are, Gearbox will be supporting Battleborn for as long as publisher 2K Games will allow us to keep it running, which, my dude, they just told you it's done. Yes. And then he says, creative director priority shift does not equal closing down. We appreciate all the games fans. Game on. So
by creative director priority shift, they mean the director shifting their priority to something that is not Battleborn.
Yes, they mean, basically, 2K have said this is it for new Battleborn content. They're refocusing on something else, and Randy is saying, no, we're still making stuff. But of course, Randy has been known to say things, so...
So, did our friend Randy Did he mention anything about his strategy to link the Battleborn Rule 34 subreddit on Twitter? Did that move the needle at all? Did that help?
Yeah, you just see that whenever you boot up the main menu, there's like a hot link to it on the front page of the game.
And it just says, please, I beg you, underneath it. Like, oh boy.
Did that game, like, because it went basically free to play 2 or 3 months ago. I wonder, did that like move the needle at all for it? Let me have a look and see what the the current player base is for Battleborn here.
Surely it's up there with PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds, right?
PlayerUnknown's Battleborn. Randy Pitchford. I almost called him Randy Duvall. Randy Pitchford is the PlayerUnknown.
Oh boy!
According to SteamDB, right now there are 57 people playing Battleborn, with a 24-hour peak of 87. So,
oh boy!
Yeah,
oh shit.
That's good.
All right,
that's pretty sad, Randy. But
I think they might have more characters in the roster than there are people actually playing Battleborn right now.
Holy fuck!
Oh God, Jesus!
All right, I'll do this last bit of news here. So Sony had a showing at Tokyo Game Show already. By the time you listen to this, there will probably be more news out of Tokyo Game Show, because that is what's going on this weekend. But before we recorded, Sony had their Tokyo Game Show stream. There's a couple of things they showed, which I'll go over the big ones. Ryan wrote up the article here. The one of the most interesting ones is a game called Left Alive. It is being made by Square Enix. It's being produced by Shinji Hashimoto, the co-creator of Kingdom Hearts. They're having Yoji Shinkawa, the concept artist from Metal Gear, doing art for the game. It's also being worked on by Toshifumi Nabeshima, who's directed Armored Core. And they are claiming that it is like a successor to Front Mission of some kind. Like, it's not an actual Front Mission sequel, but it is similar. I'm not really sure what that game's gonna be. I feel like a lot of people are kind of jumping the gun because they're seeing the Yoshi Shinkawa art, and they're like, oh, it's gonna be like Metal Gear, and it's like, no, they just hired the dude because
he's a good artist.
Probably doesn't because the art's good.
Yeah, probably not doing too much anymore now that like fucking Anyway, I don't know. That game seems interesting. Speaking of Kojima, though, Konami did announce something kind of neat. They announced a full 4K remake of Zone of the Enders 2 called Anubis: Zone of the Enders Mars. So yeah, it's a remake of the second runner. It's also going to work with PSVR. Ooh. And some other new features. So who knows what else they're going to add to the game. I mean, it looks really neat. So I'm actually pretty interested in that. They released the PC port, or no, it might have been originally been a mobile port, but then they put it on PC, and now it's on PS4 of Final Fantasy IX.
Yeah.
And that just dropped immediately. Like, they just, as soon as they announced that was there, and it's available right now, announcement of the show. And it's also available in the US, or worldwide, mind you, right now. So if you have a PS4, you can play Final Fantasy IX once again.
Yeah.
They also talked about Monster Hunter World. That is coming out worldwide January 26th of next year. On PS4 and Xbox One, there was no confirmation for PC's date, just sometime after that. There's going to be a collector's edition with all kinds of shit. And there's also going to be a Monster Hunter World PS4, which probably will not come out over here.
Yeah. I think, I don't know. I saw an image of it that had English, like, text on it, so maybe that's, like, a UK thing? I don't know.
Maybe.
But I saw some kind of promotional thing for it.
Maybe.
I may be thinking of the special edition. Never mind. Forget that.
Some other little tidbits. Noctis got it confirmed for Final Fantasy Dissidia and T. They showed off 2 Earth Defense Force games, and one of them was like a serious one called Iron Rain. Like it was like positioned like way more seriously than other Earth Defense Force games, which is kind of weird, but I don't know. There's going to be a Neko Atsume game for PSVR.
Oh, Dodo Cat spiritual successor.
Absolutely. They showed some more of that Shadow of the Colossus remake that looks gorgeous. And they announced that Dragon's Crown port for PS4.
Spiritual successor to Dodo Cat.
Yeah. I mean, the neat thing about that is that it's actually going to have cross-play with Vita and PS3. So, if you end up buying that game, I have it on Vita. We should play it. It's pretty fun. And they also showed some new footage from the next Vanillaware game, that 13 Sentinels game, and that game looks sick as hell too. So hey, Vanillaware, keep it up. Maybe tone it down a little bit, but also keep it up. But yeah, that's what they showed at Tokyo Game Show. Ryan,
yeah,
would you like to finish us off with some questions?
Yeah, we've got a lot of questions this week, and we don't have time to answer all of them. So I'm going to come in here like a nice what's the word for somebody who works as like a good word for somebody who like picks fruit for a living? like a fancy word, like the milkmaid equivalent of picking fruit.
Fruit maid?
Yeah, sure, that's me. That's what I am this week, and I'm going to cherry pick these questions for your answering enjoyment. If you'd like to send questions to the podcast, you can submit them at videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask or at podcast@videogamechoochoo.com, which is our email. So, let's go ahead and kick these off without any further ado. Anonymous says, recently moved and need to restock snacks. What are some of your favorite snack foods? To help in this, I offer 3 categories so that you can each have a top 3 if needed. Salty, sweet, and wild card, and then in parentheses, spicy, sour fruit, whatever you need for a 3rd slot. Thanks.
Okay.
Wait, what?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so basically they're asking for snacks.
Snack recommendations.
And you have to...
salty, sweet, and then whatever you want.
Yeah, so I would say pick 1 salty, 1 sweet, and then 1 that doesn't really pertain to either of those.
Yeah.
Alright, so I'll go first because I have some choices already. For salty, I'm gonna say just standard Pringles. Pringles are delicious. Mm-hmm. They have a good salt factor to it. I think Pringles are really good. Andy, are you making disapproving noises to Pringles?
Pringles taste
you
like
don't like
barf.
Pringles?
They're fine.
Pizza
like
Pringles are okay.
I don't love them, but they're okay.
I like salt and vinegar Pringles a lot. For sweet, I would say I would go out and get some of those the Chips Ahoy cookies that are chewy. I like the chewy.
That was going to be my sweet
cookies.
Answer, actually. So I got to think of another one now, you fucker.
Yeah, same.
I'm sorry. Those are very good. I like those a lot. And for my wild card, I'm going to go with some fruit. I have been eating bananas a lot lately. Bananas are just really tasty, and they're pretty good for you. So I would say bananas.
Okay.
Niall, would you like to go?
I agree with you on the sweet. I kind of agree with you on the salty. I like a nice salty crisp or potato chip, whatever you want to call it.
Sure.
Preferably not Pringles, though. I prefer something a little stronger.
What do you go for then?
I usually maybe go for Walkers or Lays, I think you call them.
Yeah.
Just something a little greasier, a little saltier.
Yeah.
And then for wildcard, I like sour stuff a lot more than salty or sweet. So I like really sour gummies, maybe, or a nice sour green apple, something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
I have answers for this.
Go right ahead.
For salty, I used to eat a lot of potato chips, but I have trouble now with like the grease factor. Like it kind of grosses me out now.
Mm-hmm.
So for salty, I would recommend those like veggie straws, which are like kind of chips made with like vegetable matter. I guess they make them in chip form and in like straw form, and I love those things.
Veggie straws are so fucking good. Yeah, I agree.
They're delicious, and as far as I know, they're like slightly better for you than most other chips.
Mm-hmm.
So that's good. For sweet, I'm a really big fan of peanut butter and chocolate, so I'm going to say peanut butter M&Ms. Because I've really been digging on those recently. I don't eat candy very often, but I do really like the like Reese's and like peanut butter M&Ms and stuff like that. And for the wild card, I'm also going to do fruit, but I'm going to say grapes. I really like grapes. I think they make a good snack food.
Sure.
Yeah.
I'll let me just interject real quick. Because you mentioned like peanut butter and chocolate.
Yeah,
it's a little bit more work, but I still recommend doing the peanut butter and Nutella sandwich. If Nutella is one of those foods that's like been memeified to no end. Like people say it's the best thing ever.
I'm
a human being. I know that like it's just food, but Nutella is very good, especially with peanut butter. It's the closest thing that you can get to having a Reese's cup on a sandwich.
Sure, makes sense. Andy, do you have anything to add?
Salty. I'm gonna lay something down on you. I believe this is a Canada exclusive, but I'm gonna lay it down anyway.
Okay.
Sour cream and bacon chips.
Ooh.
They kind of sell those
They're
down here.
fucking
I think
good.
It's like a
specifically the Ruffles.
Sure,
Very good. They do get a little sweet
think
at the
down
end
here
too, which is
that's-
nice.
it's one of those like limited edition kind of things, but I feel like I have seen those in places before.
So, for sweet, I'm gonna go. First of all, I want to third the recommendation for the chewy chocolate chip cookies. That's
Sure.
incredible. However, I'm gonna give a shout out to Crunchy Bars. I love a Crunchy Bar.
Yeah.
They got
I don't think they have them in the US.
Oh, that's
They don't.
tragic. They're very
so
good.
You're talking about the same one I am, right? The honeycomb.
Yeah, the like foam toffee
They're so good. Yeah.
crunchy stuff in
so
the middle.
good.
Oh, it's incredible. Oh my
That
god.
sounds delicious.
Yeah.
It's so good.
And then for my wild card, French Toast Crunch cereal.
All right.
Ooh.
All right.
Okay.
Tastes like maple
Okay.
syrup.
They do.
It's incredible.
It's very good.
Yeah.
So there you go.
All right,
Mine are the
All right.
best.
Yeah, good answers. Good answers. Like I said, I'm just going to skim through some of these, and maybe we can answer the rest next week. The Mighty Mighty Boss Tones says, with the terrible Tomb Raider movie poster rearing its head into the world, how about a question pertaining to game movies? Which pre-existing video game film would you like to see remade, hopefully better than its predecessor? Hard mode, who would direct and star in it?
So we can't say Resident Evil because those can't get any better.
Yeah,
They can't
we
get
can't
better.
say those because those movies are perfect. There's no topping them.
I think.
Okay, so I have an answer.
Okay.
I want them to make a new Doom movie, but here's the kicker: I don't want anyone to star in it, and by that I mean I want the Doom Marine to be completely silent throughout the whole movie. I want it to be just like the 2016 Doom game. I want him to just break shit and just be pissed the entire movie. Like, obviously, you could probably hire some well-known actor to play, like, the robot guy or something, but I want the Doom Marine to just be breaking things and making gestures and shooting demons. That would be what I want for that movie.
It sounds like what you basically want is Hardcore Henry.
Yeah, that's what I was going to
But
say.
in hell.
Yeah.
Hardcore Hellary.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
I have a good answer here.
Okay.
So the
Yeah, me
Super
too.
Mario
Go
Brothers
ahead.
movie
is perfect.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna make it better. Just trust me. Starring Danny DeVito. And John Leguizamo could still play Luigi. Directed by David Cronenberg.
Oh.
Coming out of retirement.
Oh. Okay. Is Cronenberg retired?
I believe so.
He's still making movies.
I thought he was.
He doesn't make body horror movies anymore, but he made like Map to the Stars like a year ago or something.
Oh,
like
okay,
that.
never mind. I thought he was retired. He made that 3 years ago.
Okay. Well, maybe he is then, I don't know. I have an answer. We can't touch the Resident Evil franchise, obviously, but we can use the same personnel, and we can make Paul W.S. We can make Paul W.S. Anderson's Metroid, starring Jovovich as Samus.
But it says pre-existing film. There isn't a Metroid.
Oh, it does. Yeah. It does say pre-existing, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that's no good.
I was going to say Assassin's Creed, directed by Paul W.S. Anderson and starring Mila Jovovich, but
see, I would see that is the thing. What about Silent Hill? Paul W.S. Anderson, Mila Jovovich. I mean, that probably wouldn't be too bad. The first Silent Hill movie wasn't great, but visually it had a lot going for it. So
I keep thinking of ones I actually kind of want to see, and I just thought of the phrase Nicholas Winding reference Street Fighter. Starring Jean-Claude Van Damme still.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh boy. Alright, I think that's kind of a wrap on that one, so let's go ahead and move on here. We talked about this a little bit earlier, but Anonymous says, I've never seen a product flop quite as badly as Battleborn did. What do you think was the nail in the coffin for this game?
Firstly, have you heard of Lawbreakers?
No.
Secondly, good. You shouldn't. Secondly, the nail in the coffin for this game was Overwatch, basically, wasn't it? I mean,
yeah. I think Battleborn was dead on arrival, honestly.
Yeah, I mean,
the character designs are extremely unappealing. I can't think of anybody who would buy a MOBA on console, and yet here we are.
Hang on. Slow your roll. Saturday Night Combat was good. Or Monday Night Combat. Monday Night Combat was good.
Saturday Night Slam Masters was great.
Saturday Night Slam Masters is great.
MOBA. It is
Wait,
great.
Was Monday Night Combat a MOBA?
Yeah,
basically, yes.
Was it on consoles?
Yes.
Oh.
Yeah, it was on
was Brink a MOBA?
Yeah.
Kinda.
Anyway. I just don't think it had much appeal in the first place. It wasn't a game that people were clamoring for, and Niles Wright Overwatch certainly didn't do anything to help. So
yeah.
Shoeless says, what knockoff platform / collectathon game mascot would you most want to see return now that Crash is back?
Croc.
No.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Fucking Croc.
Gex. They brought Bubsy back, they can bring Gex back.
Yeah, Gex.
Bring back Croc.
Yeah, bring back Croc with his fucking tank controls and his weird eyes that aren't on his head.
Yes!
I hate Croc.
Great.
I'm not gonna yell about Croc again. I've done that before.
That's like a Toad impression. Who's doing that?
John.
John, do you have an answer for this?
I mean, I feel like if I just said Spyro, that would be really cheap. Because obviously I want Spyro.
Sure.
I'd want Skylanders back
Spyro's
as well.
not really like a... Yeah, Spyro's not really a knockoff character. Like, Spyro was pretty legit back in the day, so...
Well, I mean, he's not like Crash isn't one either, but Shula still brings Crash up, so you know.
Yeah, that's fair. All right.
I mean,
cool.
how about we get a sequel to Wally Bear and the No Gang? How about that?
Fucking what?
I've never heard of this. Is this like a Tigger's Numbers kind of thing?
John, what are Tigger's numbers today?
Oh, that's a great question. Okay, so I don't think I've described Tigger's numbers on this podcast.
Oh Lord. Okay.
So I was driving home from work a couple months ago when I used to work at the deli, and we were having some kind of conversation, And I don't remember exactly how it came up, but I was trying to remember that Tigger's Honey Hunt game that came out on N64, and I was like, it's some kind of
that iconic like masterpiece. I mean,
so I was like, what game is that? Like, I was like, it's some sort of early childhood game, like educational game. So the first thing that came to my head was just Tigger's Numbers. So I guess Tigger has a dominion over 2 numbers every day. So, or I'll say it for every week. How about this? Every week Tigger has new numbers. I have to announce what Tigger's numbers are on the podcast.
All right. Do you roll dice, or does Tigger speak to you like some kind of sounding board from the other realm?
It's between 1 and 100. And I just pick them at random. I think Tigger's numbers this week are going to be 7 and 82.
Okay, bold choice.
Very nice. Those are Tigger's numbers. So I mean, do with that information what you will.
Kind of sinister. You just kind of throw that out there, and you say these are the numbers decreed by Tigger.
Anyway, Wally Bear and the No Gang is not something I made up. It's an NES game, I want to say. That was like either NES or Super Nintendo, but it was like an anti-drug game where you played as like a skateboarding bear, and the whole thing was to say no to drugs.
This sounds good.
What if they brought Captain Novolin back?
Holy shit.
Yes, they should also bring Captain Novolin back. Like
they should.
Where if he touches a donut, he keels over and dies. Like there is diabetes, and then there's whatever fucked up. Yeah. There's whatever fucked up illness Captain Novolin has, because he has something more advanced than diabetes.
Link's disease.
He's got something very wrong with him.
Great. All right. I think we should probably wrap this podcast up. So I'm going to throw out one more question.
Okay.
If you want to submit questions, you can send them to videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com/ask, or email them to podcast@videogamechoochoo.com. Our last question that I'm going to pick for us this week comes in from Anonymous, who says, please help me figure out what a, quote, sewer punk aesthetic would consist of. Thanks, Chris from Wyoming.
So you want to go find my Instagram page.
Step 1.
I feel like sewer punk is basically like... I'm going to give this a serious answer. It's like crust punk meets Mad Magazine.
Yeah, see, I think of sewer punk, and I think of all the direct-to-DVD... I think of all, like, the... Not direct-to-DVD, but direct-to-video horror films from the 80s.
Okay.
Like, I think if you want to be sewer punk, you have to watch, like, Street Trash, like, 8 times in a row. You have to get a leather jacket and kind of melt it a bit with, like, heat or something. You gotta, like, slather yourself in, like, drippy neon, like, face paint and that kind of stuff. Like, see, you think of sewer, you think of, like, crust punk. I think of sewer, I think of, like...
Garbage Pail Kids.
Neon, like, Garbage Pail Kids, like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, like Melt movies, gross Return of the Living Dead kind of stuff.
The Chuds.
That's where I'm at. Yeah, the Chuds. God, that movie's so bad.
Yeah, okay,
God, I hate that movie. I like the Chuds themselves, but that movie is terrible. Anyway, yeah, just like immerse yourself in this world of subterranean goblets and ghoulies, I suppose.
Oh. Absolutely.
Ghoulies.
Any other suggestions for Chris in Wyoming?
Well, when I think of the sewer, I think of Pennywise, and I think of the Tilton face.
And you think of Battletoads, right? Yeah. They're in the sewer, I think.
Battletoads are definitely sewer punk.
Yeah. All right. I think that about does it for questions this week.
All right. And that should do it for the podcast. I'd like to thank everybody for being on, especially Niall. Thanks for joining us for your quarterly report.
Thank you.
Yeah, always a pleasure.
And once again, I'd just like to remind everybody that if you want to support us, to please reblog, retweet, and otherwise share our content, everything that we post on videogamechoochoo.com. If you want to follow us on social media, it's at VGChoochoo. That is VGChoochoo on Twitter. And our Tumblr is videogamechoochoo.tumblr.com.
Review us on iTunes.
Yes. Check if you're subscribed to us on iTunes or in any other sense. go on iTunes, leave us a comment, rate us, review us. It helps us out. And if you want to hang out with other people that enjoy visiting the site, or even just other people who are nice and like video games like you do, check out our Discord at thegamezone.zone. And we will see you next week with another episode of the Video Game Choo Choo Podcast. Good night.